Gamers and gentlefolk, hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be your host, The Sound, and today I'm excited to bring a replay broadcast from last week, our first week of play in Season 18. We're going to be taking a look at a Division B West matchup between Spooky Ghosts and Rolling Thunder. This is a best-of-3 series that I do not know the outcome to, so I'll be learning it alongside you, dear viewers. A little bit of background on these two teams. Both participated last season in Division C West and have now been promoted to B. And in their matchup last season, Spooky Ghosts ended up winning that bout, so I'm sure Rolling Thunder would love to get a little payback here in this new season. Let's pop over to the Battleground selection to see where we're headed for Game 1, and we're going to be headed to Sky Temple, of all places. Not the most common battleground for NGS. I think it probably sees the least amount of play. That's just a hunch. It's probably between Sky Temple and Brax's Holdout. But I'll be interested to see how Spooky Ghosts and Rolling Thunder handle that, given its relative relegation to Storm League. We'll see if they've got any specific strategies cooked up for Sky Temple. Without any further ado, I think we can get into Game 1 of the series and see how our teams perform. So here we are introducing our teams. Here on the left, we've got Spooky Ghosts, Rogoth playing Vala, Eric with a K on Blaze, Little Wolf on Rhaegar, Kothon playing Garrosh, and Rift on Junkrat. To the right in red, we've got Rolling Thunder, B-Man playing Muradin, J-Mac on Sonya, Grizzly64 on Sylvanas, Just Garbage on Anduin, and Vom playing Zeratul. We'll see if our teams look to fight over the Vision, and we can take a look at our level 1 talents. Rolling Thunder are not necessarily favored in this level 1 bout, and it looks like Spooky Ghosts are going to give that Vision away, setting up for potential Sylvanas split lane pushing. Checking back in on our level 1 talents, we've got Creed of the Hunter for Vala, looking to stack those auto attacks. Warbringer for Garrosh, Warbreaker for Garrosh, trying to get CDR and damage over time onto his Groundbreaker Q. We've got Block for Sonya, who is going up against Blaze in the off lane there. Vom has opted for Shadow Hunter, so trying to pick up globes, kind of betraying an auto attack build, one that is known for its constant blinking. With 1 minute on the clock, we're already split off to our mercenary camps, Little Wolf and Rogoth, taking this top camp for Spooky Ghosts, while Rolling Thunder work on the bottom siege camp instead. We'll see which team is able to get more out of this early mercenary capture. With a Junkrat on the side of Spooky Ghosts, they have a lot of tools for defending a siege. Engage here onto Kothon. Vom gets the body block. J-Mac is able to spin, and Vom blinks back in for First Blood, going over to Rolling Thunder. Meanwhile, in top, Eric with a K getting a lot of push done here with that Bruiser camp. Little Wolf and Rogoth were able to capture their siege camp for bot lane, but with the Garrosh takedown, Rolling Thunder was able to get a fair bit of siege damage done on that mid-fort there. Vom trying to pick up the experience and slow down Rift's clear here a bit. Zeratul still a little bit weak here in the early game, and with Little Wolf, Rogoth, and Kothon coming to reinforce this position, they are going to have a tough time defending against this siege camp push. Level 4s on both sides, Death Dealer for Rogoth, a big power spike for auto attack build. We've got Chattering Teeth coming online for Rift, looking for a trap-based build, it would seem. On the top side, we've got Grizzly finishing off this Bruiser camp just ahead of the objective. We've also got Thunderburn for the Muradin player. So a bit of an old school build there for B-Man, likely to pair with the healing Sack at level 13. Rolling Thunder do have an advantage here in top lane with their Bruiser camp pushing and Sylvanas next to it, but it looks like Spooky Ghosts aren't too concerned with that. They've got Junkrat still pushing out the bottom lane. Eric with a K getting chunked really low here. Grizzly getting a lot of value out of their level 4 possession talent as well. So with the Bruiser camp and top temple, this top fort is potentially going to go down here in this first objective phase. Rolling Thunder must be very happy with that early objective emphasis in the top lane. So they're going to secure their first fort of the game. In the meantime, mid fort for Rolling Thunder has gone down to about 30, perhaps 25% HP. Level 7's online for both sides. Oh, and in the top side, Grizzly and J-Mac take out Eric with a K. That is 2 kills for Rolling Thunder now. They're creeping ahead in experience with that minion, or I'm sorry, with that hero experience. They're neck and neck with minions and mercenaries. But the structure and passive XP is going to start favoring them as well as those hero kills. Chattering Teeth now available for Rift on the Junkrat. Traps will now follow their opponents. That'll likely be paired with the silencing traps at level 13. Sticky Wicket, I believe. Which is going to put a lot of threat on Vom on the Zeratul. Zeratul walking into a silence trap will be challenging for the Protoss to dip away, as they are so well known for. Eric with a K getting some more push done on top side, trying to even out the structure deficit. Still no level 7 talent from the Rhaegar player. They could opt for the Purge augmentation. And I didn't call it out earlier, they opted for Feral Heart at level 1. B-Man jumping in and getting tossed in by Cotham. Eric with a K missing their jet propulsion. They've got slows thanks to the oil spills, but Just Garbage was in range for the Leap of Faith. Next objective, unlocking on the bot side. The topside bruisers are available once again for Spooky Ghosts, so Little Wolf and Rogoth are gonna try and push that out as quickly as possible, but that's giving Rolling Thunder plenty of free time here on bottom objective. Level 10s on both sides, heroic talents available for both teams. We've got Rain of Vengeance, Bunker Drop, Ancestral Healing, Warlord's Challenge, and Riptire for Spooky Ghosts, and on the other side, Avatar, Leap, Wailing Arrow, Might of Nerazim, and Light Bomb. There is a big collapse here onto Spooky Ghosts. Grizzly in a lot of trouble, eats the Light Bomb and the Root. Just Garbage doing a lot of good healing. Rogoth falling low. J-Mac is able to clean that up. Little Wolf is in trouble now, as is Grizzly. Grizzly will fall after taking out the Rhaegar. Hawthorne in a lot of danger. Vom will clean it up. Chasing after Rift here. They've got one more Vorpal. Looks like they do not have the Singularity Spike, but in a couple fancy blinks, that'll be a 3-for-1 in that objective push. And unfortunately, on the top side, Spooky Ghost's camp did not make it to a structure, so that is just a relatively one-sided trade in favor of Rolling Thunder. They'd love to get this Season 18 match under their belts after having fallen to Spooky Ghosts last season. About a level lead now in favor of Rolling Thunder thanks to those hero takedowns, the extra minion experience, and of course the passive XP in their favor, which has unlocked the level 13 talent tier for them. B-Man opting for Bronzebeard Rage rather than the healing static, as I'd called out. Healing static often taken with Thunderburn, that double proc of the Thunderclap, synergizing quite well with the healing on Thunderclap. We've also got Windrunner, so it is double E for Grizzly. Able to slow down this push a bit with Possession, while the rest of Rolling Thunder comes down to help support this defense of the bottom port. B-Man is now in range with Just Garbage. Vom sneaking on the side here, looking for some kills. Their power continues to grow now with Mending Strikes. J-Mac is also in range, lurking here. Eric with a K is showing on the top side of the battleground, so it will be difficult for Spooky Ghost to defend this one 4v5. Looks like they're going to give it a shot. Rift shooting off the Riptire does not detonate it in time for the damage to proc. So Rolling Thunder will get a quick steal on the bot side siege camp as the next objective phase spawns. One at the top and a temple at the bottom side here. I'd love to see Rolling Thunder play for this bottom temple. They've got the advantage as far as their healing well is concerned. They're going to do just that. It also doesn't give Spooky Ghost the opportunity to get a free sneak onto this boss. Eric with a K and Sonya both in top lane. Eric with a K now going to get that vision. Level 13's on both sides. We've got Rogoth opting for Tempered by Discipline. There's the toss and taunt in onto B-Man. They're able to get the Avatar off in time. Just Garbage saves them with the Leap of Faith, but now they're stuck in a bad spot. Eric with a K still has the silence. Huge silence from Grizzly. Lands onto 4. Just Garbage is completely isolated from the team, however, so that Anduin will fall. The 5v4 going over to Spooky Ghosts in the end. Rolling Thunder was able to channel a fair bit of the bottom shrine, and on the top side, J-Mac was able to get a bunch done with that top side as well. So a relative even trade on the objective, but experience definitely heavily in favor of Rolling Thunder. Their level 16s are online. This is a big power spike once again for Vom on the Zeratul. Master Warp Blade now available for them. The taunt goes off, but Vom has already blinked away. They're able to do so with Wormhole at level 7. So that is a pretty important cooldown for Spooky Ghost to be missing. Vom continues to chase and hunt a bit. I'll be interested to see if Rolling Thunder try and contest the Bruiser camp in top or set up instead here on the bottom side. J-Mac opting for a more traditional auto attack build for Sonya. The last couple shots from bottom temple will go over to Rolling Thunder, and they are well far ahead here in the game. They've got all 3 of their forts still up. Vom looking for Cawthon here. Walks into the trap. It is gotta trap them all. Sticky Wicket at 7. Chattering Teeth is at 4. Okay, right. So these silence traps could be a huge problem for Vom if they're caught. Eric with a K, speaking of being in a lot of trouble. They've got slows, they've got stuns. B-Man over the top with another slow. Cawthon gets into the fray cleanse to save their Blaze player after the bunker is committed. So a couple more important cooldowns, but Spooky Ghost weathered the storm towards their level 16. It's an even talent-tier fight. Demon really far ahead of the rest of the team. Rogoth falling low here. A great Riptire, and Vom will be the first to fall. B-Man hops out, but Just Garbage caught in the middle of Spooky Ghosts. J-Mac falling low. Grizzly able to peel for them, but the Muradin will not fare as well. And with those 2 kills, Spooky Ghost will immediately get onto this bottom side boss. Grizzly doing a quick scout to see that they're indeed on it. Rolling Thunder likely going to get things going on the rest of the map, we can see Just Garbage setting up on this bruiser camp, and Grizzly headed to clear that top bruiser as well. Eric with a K knows what's up. They're going to charge in here and find Just Garbage on the bruisers. Anduin falls to the spread volley. Rift using their level 16 to put some hurt onto the Anduin there. And it is a big momentum swing here for Spooky Ghosts. That bottom bridge engagement for Rolling Thunder didn't net the kills they were hoping for, and Spooky Ghosts used the opportunity with that cooldown missing. Bomb going in onto Rift here. They got caught in that steel trap, which silences them, and that's going to do it. As I called out earlier, those silences are going to be murder on that auto attack Zeratul. They rely on being able to press those blinks as much as possible. So the silence is going to be a huge detriment to their gameplay. Anduin respawning now. Eric with a K has peeled back for the mid-temple. And just like that, Spooky Ghosts are just about even on the battleground once again in terms of structure damage. We've got most of Spooky Ghosts here capturing the siege camp. Eric with a K backs off in time for Rolling Thunder to get a little bit of progress here. B-Man, every single bit of CC. They are able to escape with the leap of faith from Just Garbage, able to save their tank player, and they pop the avatar. So most of this mid-shrine going over to Spooky Ghosts. They've got a lot of temple progress in the last few minutes. Checking in on our structure damage. Bottom wall is gone. Top keep is taking a lot of damage for Spooky Ghosts. So Rolling Thunder able to still claim a lead here, but they are no longer ahead on experience. B-Man has been scouted in this rotation. Eric with a K looking for folks. They have revealed themselves on the minion wave. A huge stun in onto 2. All of the damage going in onto B-Man. The blink in from the light bomb catches a few. Leap as well, but Muradin died too quickly for the rest of Rolling Thunder to get much done. J-Mac taking a lot of damage. Will spear back in for some spin to win healing, but in the end, it is another 2-for-0 trade in favor of Spooky Ghosts. And they've got a big wave here in bot lane. They've got a siege camp coming in behind them. This is going to potentially be a game-winning push if Rolling Thunder aren't able to make a successful defense. And it is difficult for a melee assassin team to do those safe defenses. Grizzly already using their Haunting Wave, so they don't have their safe Unstoppable, and the core is taking damage. Silence lands onto 2, Bomb blinks in, able to land onto 3, but they're caught in the root once again, and that's going to be it for Bomb. Zeratul going down. The core down below 50% HP, and the siege camp still very healthy. I don't think Rolling Thunder are going to be able to make this defense, and they're just trickling deaths at this point. All 4 heroes go down, and that will do it for Game 1, going in favor of Spooky Ghosts. GG and well played. A really strong early game for Rolling Thunder. I definitely liked what I was seeing in the early going of it. They were showing a comfort on the battleground that I think a lot of folks do not have in NGS, just given how little we all play it. But in the end, some key teamfight victories later in the game moved the needle in favor of Spooky Ghosts. We can take a look here at our post-game stats. Rogoth on the Vala, top damage by a large margin there. Zeratul, Vom able to top their team's damage numbers as well, getting a fair bit done on the auto attack Zeratul. We can take a look at our builds here as well. 135 stacks for Rogoth on the Creed of the Hunter quest. Pretty solid stacking for a map that does not incentivize too many team fights. Also surprised to see Just Garbage getting 7 stacks on the Piercing Light level 4. Not an easy quest to get stacked. We've also got, we did opt for the Purge Augment at level 7 Purification Little Wolf. And I didn't call it out at level 1, but they opted for Wolf Run. Not the most common level 1, but it allows their team to stay grouped together in those rotations. It also offers a bit more armor and survivability for the healer. So a tight contest, but in the end, Spooky Ghosts able to maintain their winning matchup against Rolling Thunder in that first game of the series. We can take a look here, try and get our second game set up. Anyone joining us, it is a pleasure to have you in this odd hour stream. This, of course, will end up on my YouTube channel as well, because it seems silly to stream at an odd hour and then not give folks the chance to actually see their match. And we can see where we're headed for our second battleground. All right, looks like we are headed to Volskaya Foundry for our second battleground for game number 2. I do not have any map ban information, unfortunately, or who selected which battleground, or draft information for that matter. But I think it's well worth it, because it means that this match gets a broadcast, and I, as the broadcaster, don't have any sort of spoilers. So hopefully we'll be able to see a game 3 if Rolling Thunder is able to keep that early game as tight as they did on Sky Temple. I could easily see us going the full distance here in this series from last week. They just have to tighten up their late game team fighting a little bit. And I think despite a lot of really strong play from Vom on the auto attack Zeratul, I think being cognizant of those potential pitfalls, such as the Junkrat silencing trap, will definitely go a long way to making those late game fights go in Rolling Thunder's favor. Replay is so close to loading, my friends. Speaking of that YouTube, if you haven't already, feel free to go check it out. It is YouTube/@thesound51, and if you were watching it on YouTube, then be sure to catch us whenever we're live on Twitch, twitch.tv/thesound51. We're live typically once a week with a live broadcast, and once a week with 1 or 2 replay broadcasts. And we'd love to have you. The community element of NGS is a big part of why I participate and enjoy doing it. So having anyone stop by on the stream or on the YouTube channel to leave a comment and cheer these teams on is loads of fun. All right. Second replay is all loaded, so let's get into game 2, and we'll see if Spooky Ghosts are able to seal it in a quick 2-0, or if Rolling Thunder will be able to bring us to a third game in the series. Introducing our teams once again. It's Rogoth on Sylvanas, Eric with a K on Leoric, Little Wolf on Anduin, Cawthon playing Varian, and Rift playing Genji or Spooky Ghosts. To the right in red, we've got Rolling Thunder with Grizzly playing Raynor, Beeman on Mei, JMac on Blaze, Vom playing Kael'thas, and Just Garbage playing Deckard Cain. Checking in on our level 1 talents here, we've got Overwhelming Affliction for Sylvanas, who is sneaking down to the bottom lane, potentially looking for a little bit of side lane push. Rift is going to cut off rotations here as well. We do have a couple of stacking quests at level 1. Cawthon looking to stack up the Lion's Maw quest at level 1. We've also got Mana Addict for Kael'thas and Scroll of Identify for Just Garbage on Deckard. Not the most common level 1 for the Lore Master of Diablo, but it can ramp up the damage, especially with when paired with that level 16 Scroll of Stone Curse. Grizzly putting a lot of pressure here on this mid-fort wall. Spooky Ghosts responding in kind here on the bot side. Rogoth has already secured the first tower of the game. Eric with a K has taken a lot of damage as well. So about even structurally, Rolling Thunder are moving pretty brazenly around the battleground. Can't say I blame them. Varian comps are notoriously weak until level 4 comes online. And this is last patch. We just got a patch earlier last evening. So this is the unnerfed Genji. Still a 30% slow on their level 1 cyber agility, or agile dismount rather. And no bugged interaction on their cyber shield at level 7. JMac is doing their best to defend here against Rogoth and Eric with a K. It's a tough matchup into Leoric, and it is a tough matchup into Sylvanas. So it's hard for Blaze 2v1 and against those heroes in particular. Level 4 is now online, so we've got Taunt available for Cawthon. We've also got Mercenary Queen for Sylvanas. Rogoth likely looking to juice up these siege camps as well as the fortification camps. Those turrets can do a lot more damage when they're amplified by Sylvanas' level 4. Piercing Light for Anduin. Fight or Flight for Grizzly. There's the taunt onto the Raynor. Follow-up route is good. So much damage. Rift finishes them off with the Swift Strike. First kill going over to Spooky Ghosts. Very well played. They've opted for Dragon Claw at level 4 on their Genji. And Rift played that very well, getting that last bit of damage with the Swift Strike. Going under towers is not scary for a Genji as long as they get the reset on their E after a takedown. Eric with a K continuing to bully JMac here in the bottom lane. And they're going to have to back. So with the first objective available, Spooky Ghosts have a advantage here in top lane a bit. They've also got a extra item with that biotic emitter Cawthon is holding. But Rolling Thunder is able to sneak the first bit of objective progress. B-Man still feeling pretty safe on the Mei with their trait still available. Cryo Freeze offers a lot of sustain. And Just Garbage putting a lot of healing on the point with their level 4. Rubies is going to be great in these grouped up engagements. JMac gets a huge stun. Eric with a K caught in a weird spot now. Rift able to peel for them, and Rogoth taking a lot of damage. They're going to fall in the end. The Sylvanas could not make it out alive. Rift harassing on the backside, and Vom, their Kael'thas player, now basically out of mana. So 36% captured by Spooky Ghosts, but Rolling Thunder was able to answer back with that kill. and so they're going to be able to secure another bit of objective progress for themselves. I like what Spooky Ghosts are doing here, waiting for the respawns. They're making sure to collect as much experience as they can, try and keep things neck and neck with both teams. B-Men trying to stall the progress of Spooky Ghosts and do a little bit of stalling for the rest of Rolling Thunder on this mercenary camp, but they've gotten split up here, and so Spooky Ghosts are going to get a relatively easy steal. Blaze goes down here. Beeman is able to pick up the camp, but Rift grabs the turret, so experience going over to Rolling Thunder, but the item itself going over to Spooky Ghosts. Eric with a K is going to have to hearth back, but they've secured a little bit more objective capture before they do that. Rolling Thunder will have an opportunity to contest here with all of their respawns in time. Bomb taking care of one more top wave. B-Man and Grizzly doing the same on the bottom side. They need to collapse here on the side of Rolling Thunder. No one from Spooky Ghosts has picked up the turret here on the left side. Overtime triggered. Coffin caught in the double stun. There's the leap of faith from Anduin. Little Wolf saving his father. And overtime stays for Spooky Ghosts. Coffin falling so low, but it's B-Man to fall first. Eric with a K follows suit. Grizzly staying on point here. So the sustain healing from Just Garbage and level 10s on both sides. Coffin retreated. Oh my god. Both sides getting kills back and forth. Little Wolf ahead of the team, still very healthy. Eric with a K spooks in, gets some kills. There's the Entomb onto Grizzly. Rift on the backside gets onto Just Garbage. And in the end, the kills trickle in a little bit quicker for Spooky Ghosts. They're going to clean up the objective and take this first protector. Eric with a K hopping in and walking towards bot lane that they've been preparing with the Sylvanas. I called out a couple of those heroics as they flew, but in the end, let's cover the ones that I didn't. We've got Wailing Arrow from Sylvanas, Entomb from Leoric, Power Word Salvation for Anduin, Shield Wall for Varian, X-Strike for Genji. Once again, this is last patch Genji, so it has not had its damage nerfed. And on the other side for Rolling Thunder, we've got Rainer's Raider, Ice Wall, Bunker Drop, Pyroblast, and Stay a While and Listen for Rolling Thunder. One more laser will finish off this bottom fort. Spooky Ghosts able to get the first structure of the game, and on the top side, they're trying to get some split value 3v2 here with a potential Black Arrows push from Rogoth. So the early experience lead that Rolling Thunder had enjoyed is no longer in their hands. Spooky Ghosts have taken the lead there, and that lead will continue to grow thanks to the passive XP granted by that bottom structure. Eric with a K scouts Rolling Thunder on the camp here. They're going to put a little bit of damage into the Leoric, but the rest of Spooky Ghosts are not in range to threaten the invade. I'd love to see Rolling Thunder try and force a pre-13 fight here. Looks like they're not going to be able to. Spooky Ghosts may get a talent tier advantaged fight here on the top side. Looks like they're going to prep mid-wave instead, perhaps try and catch someone in rotation. Cawthon in onto Vom. There's the set of heroics. Vom makes it out alive. Just Garbage peels with the Stay a While and Listen, but now they're taking a lot of damage themselves. Beeman caught in the Entomb. J-Mac in on the backside. Beeman has to use the Cryo Freeze, and it's Sylvanas to go down first. Rift will clean up B-Man, so it's 1-for-1. Vom catches the Anduin with the stun, but now they're in trouble. Rift Swift strikes in on the backside. In the end, it is a 1-for-1 trade. Tank for damage dealer. It's 9-minute completion for Cawthon on their level 1 quest. Lion's Fang now slowing by 50%. really increasing the amount of CC that Varian can bring to bear in these team fights. Also able to fish more effectively for engagements. At 13, we've got Line 'em Up for Grizzly. If they're able to shoot 2 or more heroes with their penetrating round, they can get a lot of cooldown reduction. We've also got Shield Breaker, or I'm sorry, Shattering Throw, which is a shield breaking talent for Kothon, trying to limit the amount of survivability that B-Min has. Eric with a K using that W build to put a lot of HP pressure. B-Min gets in onto the point, but Just Garbage has taken so much damage from the Rift, chasing them down on the Genji. The blind from B-Man will not save the Deckard Cain. They're trying to peel for themselves here with a stun. They're able to do it. A stun from Bomb will get the Mei out. So a good gravity lapse saves the tank, but unfortunately, Just Garbage was taken down in that exchange. Level 13, also a big power spike for JMac. Their jet propulsion now doing massive damage, and we can see that going on to Eric with a K there. Second objective point has unlocked. Level 16s are just around the corner for Spooky Ghosts. Rolling Thunder would love to find that even talent tier before contesting that second objective point. And JMac letting their presence be known to Rogoth there in bot lane, making sure that Sylvanas doesn't get too much push done. And it looks like Rolling Thunder will find their level 16s before this objective phase completes. We've got JMac getting another wave here in mid lane, and oh my gosh, Bomb caught in an Entomb. There's the silence follow-up, and Rift with the X-Strike will secure the kill onto Kael'thas. Rift falls low, but the Leap of Faith and Power Word Salvation. Oh my gosh, Rift falling low once again. Grizzly getting one of those line 'em up procs. There's the silent, or the sleep onto 2. JMac catching Rogoth, and they will go down. Grizzly dealing with Eric with a K in the back, and the W is doing so much damage there, but the Leoric in the end goes down. JMac on the left side catches Little Wolf and Rift. Once again, another slow onto Little Wolf, but none of the rest of Rolling Thunder able to catch. Oh my god, JMac doesn't need the help. They take out Anduin all by themselves. Blaze eats a taunt and some healing. That icing from B-Man granting them a little bit of armor and move speed to get out, thanks to the level 7 skating away. So that is the team fight win that Rolling Thunder definitely want here, as they've been looking to get back into this game too. They're going to be able to secure their first structure here, most likely. Eric with a K spooking in on the backside. Looks like it is just trying to threaten Rolling Thunder. In the end, though, they are not afraid of only a Leoric Varian combo. One last auto attack from B-Man will take out the top fort. We can see Rogoth, capturing another turret camp. First objective progress that Rolling Thunder has managed to secure here. B-Man hopping on the point. Eric with a K, threatening an Entomb. We do have JMac joining. It will be 5v5, but the vision advantage definitely in favor of Spooky Ghosts. A great ice wall stops the Entomb engagement. Rift booped with a slow. JMac finds none with the jet propulsion. Coffin taking a lot of damage here on the bottom side of the fight. Rogoth as well will fall. Some excellent damage spread from the Living Bomb of Vom. They've opted for Pyromaniac and Fury of the Sunwell, so they get a lot of cooldown reduction. Fury of the Sunwell, a common choice alongside Ignite. I actually don't even know what KT's third level 16 is. But Fury of the Sunwell, a great talent for extra siege damage. That second detonation also... Oh my god, a 3-hero Entomb Eric with a K trying to put the team on their back. A huge sleep. Bomb still in a lot of trouble. They don't have their shield from Arcane Barrier available to them. They have completed the quest, so Mana Addict is available, or is complete. Arcane Barrier is available to them. A lot of damage from the side of Rolling Thunder onto Eric with a K, and so Leoric will fall. Second objective captured by JMac on the top side, while Rolling Thunder and Spooky Ghosts were fighting it out in mid lane. And so that is the second structure going over to Rolling Thunder. I don't know where I got 4. And the late game kills that plagued them in game 1 are definitely going in favor of Rolling Thunder in this second game. Of course, with 2 heroes in the Protector, it might be a go signal for Spooky Ghosts to dive onto the back line of Rolling Thunder. Bomb would be a juicy target to catch. Still another 20 seconds left on the Protector. But it looks like Spooky Ghosts aren't willing to continue the chase, especially with Storm Talents online for Rolling Thunder. Bomb has unlocked the level 20, that super long Flamethrower, of course. Flamethrower, Fury of the Sunwell, and Burned Flesh at level 7, all synergizing very well together. With their level 20 advantage, Rolling Thunder will get aggressive, get onto this turret camp, and probably finish off this bottom fort. And there we can see the advantage of Fury of the Sunwell paired with Flamethrower. Bomb able to put double flame strikes on structures without putting themselves under threat of taking that structure damage. A smart play by Spooky Ghosts. They were able to pick up the turret, or the biotic emitter, while Rolling Thunder finished off the last of their outer structures. And it gives a lot of experience. We can see most of that mercenary experience going over to Spooky Ghosts. That is due to their higher number of biotic emitter captures. So they weren't behind on those Storm Talents for terribly long. We've got Bolt of the Storm for Sylvanas, Buried Alive for Leoric, Censure for Anduin, their Chastise now silencing, Glory to the Alliance for Cawthon, and Living Weapon for Rift. Level 16, it was Banner of Ironforge. I would have expected Banner of Dalaran for the cooldown reduction synergy with Glory to the Alliance. But in the end, it's really anyone's guess which banner Varian players will prioritize. I don't think I called out Storm Talents on the side of Rolling Thunder. We've got Dustwing, the big one for May, Fortified Bunker, and Endless Potions, Bottomless Flask. So much CC landing onto Cawthon. But the Silence Entomb catches 2. There's the X-Strike onto Vom, who's able to escape into the bunker, but now they're in melee range. They're able to skate out just in time, just garbage, taking a lot of damage here. There's the Pyroblast onto Eric with a K, and that will do it. They didn't drop the healing emitter in time. Rift is able to pick it back up, but oh my gosh, so much damage onto Cawthon here. 2-0 in favor of Rolling Thunder, and they are looking for a keep. Both damage dealers are available for Spooky Ghosts, so they could turn things around with a tricky engagement here. Rift could get many, many X-Strike resets with Living Weapon, but it is in all likelihood the first heap going over to Spooky Ghosts. Eric with a K has done a great job getting a lot of cooldown reduction on their death. They're going to respawn here, and they've got Buried Alive available to them once again. With objective point C unlocking on the bottom side, looks like Rolling Thunder are going to transition down that way. Eric with a K, I think they've been scouted here, but in the end, they're able to escape without too much hassle. So a level lead for Rolling Thunder, which at this point in the game is only notable because it gives them a slight stat advantage, 4% more attack damage, healing, HP to begin with, etc. But even talent tiers from here on out. We've got both sides contesting the objective. B-Man could get caught in the Silence and Tomb here. Just Garbage with no cleanse would have a hard time saving their Mei. There's the taunt onto Mei. The Pyroblast immediately ripped onto Little Wolf, which will draw the Power Word Salvation. Silence catches his two players on Rolling Thunder. Vom taking a lot of damage, B-Man taking a lot of damage. They no longer have their heroic available. Or I'm sorry, their trait. Just Garbage will fall. B-Man down below 10% HP. Rift looking for these kills in the backline. Grizzly will fall. Rift falling low as well. Vom trying to finish them off, but another X-Strike, and there's the Swift Strike on to JMac. So a 5-hero wipe for Spooky Ghosts, and the bottom keep is available for Siege thanks to all of that pressure that Spooky Ghosts applied in the early game to the bottom lane. Rogath and Swift will get a lot of siege done here. We opted for Shingan at 13 for Rift, and that paired with Black Arrows means that this keep is not long for this world. In the meantime, we've got Little Wolf picking up this objective. Of course, it is 3 catapults here on top lane. I don't think we're late enough in the game where these minion waves won't clean them up on their own. But Rogath will Hearth back just to be safe. Probably pushing out one more minion wave or so. Which may take them a little bit. Never mind, I don't know anything about anything. I was just thinking without unstable poison, it might take them a little bit longer, but lo and behold, we're almost 22 minutes into the game. So these heroes have scaled well past the minions at this point. Rolling Thunder have another opportunity for a 5v5, but the Silence and Tomb catches 2 more, and all of the damage lands onto the backline of Rolling Thunder. I don't think with no healer and no Rainer, Rolling Thunder are going to be able to turn this one around. Bomb caught by Coughlin and Rift here on the backside. They pop the Arcane Barrier, but it's not enough. JMac dies on the top side, and that has got to be GG in favor of Rolling Thunder. They're going to chase onto B-Man here a little bit longer. B-Man has not opted for the additional Cryo Freeze at level 20. And Eric with a K is not concerned about the Mei, and I think doing the right thing, prepping this bot wave. And that's going to likely do it here for game number 2, and therefore the series. Rolling Thunder showing a lot of prowess in the early and mid game in both games 1 and 2, but it's the tight synergy of Rolling Thunder in these late game team fights that ends up being the difference maker and will give them this series win. GG and well played. All right, so in the end, it ends up being a quick 2-0 in favor of the home team, kind of replicating their performance from last season when both teams were in Division C West. It looks like more of the same here in B West. Let's take a look at our post-game stats. There they are. Grizzly able to rack up a lot of damage on the Rainer, top of the lobby, but in the end it was the kill count favoring Spooky Ghosts that kind of turned the tide of the game. Genji going for top experience out of the Spooky Ghost team. Not what I would have expected with the Leoric on their side, but I suppose with 6 deaths, Leoric did have a fair bit of struggle. And when you're dead, you cannot pick up experience. So that makes a lot of sense. Checking in on our builds. Grizzly paired their level 13, line them up with the level 16, paint them red. That is likely how they got those massive damage numbers at the end of the game. Both a lot of cooldown reduction and damage amplification and healing from the synergy of that 13-16 pairing. We did not see a lot of utility out of the Herodic Staff from Just Garbage. It's a natural pick into Genji. Rift was doing a fair bit of backline harassment, but with a Mei frontline, there wasn't a lot of turnaround that the side of Rolling Thunder was able to do if Deckard was able to catch Genji with that stun. So a close match, even though the scoreline does not look like it. I'll be interested to see how Rolling Thunder continue to fare here in this promoted division. Spooky Ghosts looking very strong there in their first match of the season. I think with how quickly that went by, I'm going to try and get a second replay cast in here after a little bit. But since this is headed to YouTube, I'll give my sign off so that everyone there can get a nice complete ending. So to do that, I have to give a shout out to everyone who tunes in and watches. It's great to have all the support from everybody in the NGS community and outside of it. And another huge shout out to all of the artists, musicians, and programmers whose work I feature here on the stream. It wouldn't look or sound anywhere near as good without their contributions, and you can check links to their work below the video. There will also be a credit roll here after I sign off. So if you're here on Twitch, stick around. I'll be setting up a second replay broadcast in a bit. Don't go nowhere. Peace and love.